YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Another quick game of Interplanetary I Spy going on here. Back in Gale Crater. This is Sol 1100. And there's some interesting stuff in this image, and also one or two others that were taken around about the same time. You've got what looks like a wall here with some stonework. You've got what looks like a pillar just here, or plinth, part of a pillar perhaps. Maybe, maybe not. Something rather strange here which looks like part of something. And if you look up here, we have what looks like a statue head which is toppled over. It's broken, and maybe part of this here. This may have been joined to it, this thing here, and it may have even been stood on this pillar or on perhaps this plinth type rock here. Now this may be part of a building or some kind of structure. It seems to have some stonework in there. It looks like it's been built. So I'll get on with this quickly. I'll try not to be too long with this one. I'll show you the enhancements I've done. Now, first of all, I'm going to show you the raw image. This is the main one. This is 32E01. So, yes, this is the main image. Now, I haven't done anything to this. It's completely raw, as it comes from the JPL website. And when you zoom in, this is not bad, this image. It has been obfuscated, it has been compressed, but the reason why it looks better is because the objects are large, reasonably large, and they're not very far away. That's the reason they look clearer than usual. And also that it does depend on the time of day that the shots are taken. The shadows are quite kind at this time of day. This is sort of in the afternoon by the looks of it. Probably, I would say, judging by the shadows, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is pretty much ideal for this kind of photography, of especially what look like broken statues. And here's the statue. Now this, at first I looked at it, I thought that looks really weird, and it was sat on my desktop for a while now, and I was looking at it thinking there's something very odd about this. And obviously when you zoom in, it just turns to crap, like all these images do. But there is a close-up of this, which I'll show you now. Let's get rid of that. And here it is. In fact, it appears in multiple images, this thing. You've got it on the Mastcam right as well as Mastcam left here. This is the Mastcam right. There's another Mastcam right shot here. It's almost smack in the middle, but the quality is pretty poor when you zoom in. But luckily, we got a close-up of it, and the rover was literally right up next to it. So this looks really, really big, but actually it's just very close. This is literally only a few feet away from the rover. So this is probably 2 or 3 foot across. It looks enormous, but it's not. It's just really close. And even before you flip it round, you can see here what looks like an eye and a head and a sort of ear, broken ear there. And this was probably part of the torso here that's sheared off. And the sort of chin would have been here, and the mouth sort of here, and the nose seems to be either flat or broken off here. It doesn't make a lot of visual sense until you turn it round. So I flipped it round, and here we go. Here he is, and it looks like a Sphinx. Now I've had to chop the bottom part off here because it wouldn't fit in the viewer properly. But you'll see that. I'll put enhancements of all these images in at the end of the video, like I normally do, and I'll zoom in and you can pause it and have a proper good close look at it. I mean, it almost looks like this is blended into the background here, but it's got some dust on the top here, on the top of the forehead, obviously because it's lead on its side. Yes, and it has a quite a clear eye here, and what looks like part of an ear just here, which is broken away, and a sort of headdress, very much like a Sphinx, which probably came down further. I'll show you the enhancement I've got here. Here it is. Now, I've taken a bit of time on this. I haven't gone too crazy with it. I've white balanced it, and I've sharpened it up a bit and brightened it a bit, and added a bit of shadow. But I haven't gone crazy with it. And you can see quite clearly that this looks like an eye, like an insectoid almost, kind of alien grey almost sort of eye there, and a very small nose. Now this may have broken off, but that actually may be the way the nose morphology is. And the mouth seems to have be rather strange. Now, either that's how the mouth is, or it's broken. This is a smashed up statue head by the looks of it. I could be wrong, but it does look like one to me. So a lot of this may have sheared off completely. So we're probably missing a lot of detail here. This is broken, mouth is pretty much gone. The chin seems to be deformed there. And it is largely smashed, but there is enough detail here around the head, forehead, and there is some symmetry here. If you look at the brow ridge here, the shape of the forehead, and here you can imagine there would be another eye on the other side here, which we can't see because it's out of shot. So it does look like a kind of sphinx, like an alien sphinx. And who's to say, maybe the great sphinx of Egypt originally looked more like this. Who knows? Maybe it was built by aliens, or at least designed by them. Who knows? We really don't know. It has been recarved and is much older than we're being told by various Egyptologists. In fact, it's probably nearer something like 9,000 years old, possibly much older. So there we go. I'll show you the other stuff in this soul a bit closer, and I will put some enhancements of this in at the end. There is also this rock, which is very straight here. Very straight edge to it. May just be natural. And there is this, what looks like a stone wall here with rocks which look like they've been placed together rather than just randomly formed like that. I could be wrong. So yes, I'll put some enhancements of this in at the end. Oh, there was also some other things in here. Let me show you this one. This is the enhanced version of that. This is what may be another part of the statue. There's the statue up there, possible Sphinx head. If you look down here, there's this rather interesting looking piece, which may be part of it. This may be part of the shoulder or the chest or body of this particular statue. And this wall, when you see it in its entirety, does look quite interesting. But yes, I'll put close-ups of this in at the end in a minute. And this pillar also, I mean, that looks like it could well be manufactured. It's very flat on top. It looks like it's quite eroded here from wind erosion. So maybe very old indeed. What we're seeing here may only be the very top of a buried structure. There may be a hell of a lot of stuff under this sand here. And there's also this funny rock here, which I just spotted. I've sharpened this up a little bit, and it's got some kind of stick coming out the top of it. Now that may be an optical illusion. There may be some weird rocks behind causing that to look like a stick or rod or whatever. But it is really weird. Answers on the postcard for that one, guys. Really don't know what that is. Really strange. That is very unusual. I have sharpened it a little bit there, but the stuff that thin usually looks sort of semi-transparent in these images, because basically when they compile the colour information onto the image, I think they don't line it up properly, and it looks blurry and semi-transparent some of the time. So this is why around the edges of these things you get this kind of weird halo, because these images really aren't actually very well put together by NASA, and the black and white images tend to be better at that. They tend to be a bit more sharp. So there we go, folks. Is it a alien sphinx or an alien sphinx? Certainly looks like one to me. Looks a bit like Darth Vader. Very interesting indeed. Zoom right in. Look at that. Eye detail, chin, nose. Obviously very alien looking, but this does look like a sphinx style headdress here, which may have come right down to here. So there we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon.